Hey everybody, Wanna Wisdom here. It is 10:20 p.m. Friday night, May 9th, 2014. Last night, went ahead, I came in, we recorded the base upgrades for Star Strike. Again, my nephew kind of took an interest in her. We did Star Strike versus the World, everything there. She was totally box stock. Of course, there's three Star Strikes. We've got regular Star Strike, who is currently in this video, Light Core Star Strike, and then of course Enchanted Light Core Star Strike. What I plan to do here, obviously we've got the base upgrades. I went ahead and I got the base upgrades for Light Core Star Strike. No point in recording that standalones because it's the exact same thing. May actually do that for Enchanted, or I might just take Enchanted through all on her own, or I may not record it all. I don't really know what I'm going to do with her. It's a weird situation because she's special in that she's enchanted, but she also would have like no new content because I'll be showcasing Cosmic Reflector here and Stargazer with Light Core, and then of course I'll just let her take whichever of these two paths I wind up liking better. So not quite sure how that one will pan out. Anyway, the way I try to do this for you, if I just had one Star Strike, it would not be Light Core, I'll tell you that right now. But we'll assume I just had regular old Star Strike. I'd be faced with a situation a lot of you are probably in where, what path do I take? As you know, I don't research things ahead of time, look at damage numbers, anything along those lines. I like it to be new and fresh to me, even if that means that I take a horrible path. If it's really, really bad, I will actually reset my character. However, if you just have one character, you probably have them close to level 20, several quests complete, things of that nature, so then it kind of makes it difficult. Bottom line here, though, if this was my only Star Strike, I would take Cosmic Reflector. To me, my most anticipated thing with Star Strike all along has actually been Starfall. And then of course the Stargazer path ties in with Starfall, her tertiary attack, and I've always kind of wondered what it looks like, how much damage it did. I got a taste of Starfall last night, and then Starfilled Sky. Wasn't horrible, but it wasn't quite what I expected. I realized that Stargazer might actually offer up more of what I had anticipated for it. However, Cosmic Reflector, to me, her big draw is, of course, she does the most damage reflecting things. That addresses your primary and your secondary, as opposed to primarily just your tertiary attack. But the other thing it does, and this is something I've said since SSA, if there's armor or speed boost tied in, I guess now health, with Swap Force, which I'm still not a huge fan of that. But Star Evasion, the second upgrade down Cosmic Reflector, it actually increases her armor. That to me is a big deal. I'm still a fan of armor and the speed. I think they're incredibly important in the game. Most of what I do is based on overall character, and for me, since there's no single player PvP, that's primarily story mode and things of that nature. If you're going strictly PvP, sometimes things are different, but again, until there's a single player option, I'm very, very limited. Obviously, I do most of my recording late at night. My nephew is obviously not up at 3 a.m. playing Skylanders with me, and that kind of, can influence things there as well. That said, this is regular Star Strike. I'm going to take her down the Cosmic Reflector path, so bear in mind, when you come into this screen, you will be locked in because this is a new lander, so always keep that in mind. But Cosmic Reflector used the power of the cosmos to reflect projectiles and stars at enemies. So, that is what we're going to do here. We will pick it up and see what it is all about. Alright, first purchased upgrade is going to be called Atom Splitter. Press Y to shoot a star projectile. Press A when it is close to deflect it and shoot 2 smaller projectiles. Price 1088. Bear in mind, all my prices are with a 36% discount. So, probably going to be hard to document this one, but we'll see what we can do. I do think in the base upgrades last night, which one was it? Press attack one. Anyway, I think there was one, and I was actually trying to assess the damage numbers, and I kept having different numbers. I think it's because she was just simply so close to a character. I was getting the 18 to 27 here. So my apologies there. I do have that corrected in the spreadsheet already. So I realized that as I was using Light Core Star Strike, trying to further investigate that. But Atom Splitter is what we just bought. We're going to use Y to shoot our star projectile, and we're going to use A to deflect it and shoot 2 smaller projectiles. So 35 is what it was doing, basically 35 or 53, and then 44 to 66 on the reflex, or 61 to 92. You know, if it gets really high. 11 to 17 was the rapid tap. However, that changed over to what? I think 18 to 27. And let's see, she's really complicated here. But oh geez, let me try it one time. Okay, it's already doing the 2 of them. It looks like only 1 will come back. Let me try to stay over here and isolate it. Okay, and of course they went way over there. I'm seeing 2 numbers there though, and I'm not quite sure why. So I'm seeing the 14 and a 61. And I'm totally, I mean, that's nothing to do with the spin. So we're shooting through at 35. Is it not going to do that? Okay, there was our residual 66. So 35, 44, that's going to be your standard. You do sometimes see the 53 on the initial hit and the 66 on the repeat. If we reflect it, 44, 53, 61. Should see a 92 on some of these returns. I'm not quite sure where the 14 and the 21 are coming from. Let me back up some. Yeah, I mean, we're clearly out of range there. And we're seeing that auxiliary number. I mean, regardless, this is pretty impressive. I'm not sure how to document it. I guess what 14 to 21 is what we need to put down. Let me try to get in the middle here so we can see what this will do. We shoot it, it bounces, and I totally can't see what those 2 numbers are. Jeez, this is ridiculous. And the problem is I never know which way it's going to go, so that makes seeing the numbers really hard. Good grief. Let me just get way away from everything here. I'll just try to get a look at it. Okay. Alright, now it's making sense. If you note, I'm going to throw that, just let it come back, it's just 1 orb, you know, or Stargate if you will. Now when I deflect it, I was thinking we were going to split off into 2 projectiles, and I was thinking only 1 was coming back. What it is, each time I reflect it, there's actually 2 projectiles that shoot off, and you still maintain your primary orb that's going to do the 35, 44, or 61. If that makes any sense at all. So 1, when I hit it, we basically shoot off 3, and we're going to do that every time. So now it's going to be hard for me to try and see what that split is doing. If I could control where these went, I would be so happy. I'm thinking it must be 14 to 21, but I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm seeing different numbers. There's an 80 there. I have no idea what that ties in with. I've never seen an 80 before. There's our 61, there's our 92. Seeing the 14 watts. 18 and 27 is because I'm hitting a dummy. I don't know. I'm just going to put 14 to 21. And then we'll document it as basically 2 projectiles Y off from main star. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It's really hard for me to pick that up. Again, maybe when I edit it, I can actually like pause, slow the video down, and see some of the numbers, things of that nature. But for now, it's just like insanely difficult to keep track of. So we will run with that and hope that what I said is correct. Nonetheless, I think if you're watching this, you'll kind of get a feel for it regardless of what it is. You'll just kind of know if you want it or not. I guess that's the ultimate goal. Alright, her armor relatively low at 12. That's about to change. Star evasion. Armor is increased. No one would have thought a dress could be so sturdy. I mentioned this when we unboxed her because the dress, I think on this figure it's almost like a carbon fiber weave, and then like in the others it's just painted. It's really weird, but it's also awesome. We'll go ahead and buy this for $14.08. And next up, we'll just go ahead and buy Superstar. Price on it is $19.20. Press Y to shoot a star projectile. That part makes sense. Press A when it is close to deflect it. That makes sense. Deflecting 4 times makes it grow larger and do more damage. So a lot of people say it's really hard to control Star Strike and deflect everything. I don't think it is. The only problem I really have is like I wish that the things would just, if I'm facing an enemy, I wish it would always go that way. But as you can see with the dummy, sometimes you can just be solely locked onto one and it'll just shoot the Stargate off at 180 degrees from you. And then sometimes when that happens, it gets hard to actually see it. You know, if it like actually goes through a wall or a barrier, and then you're wondering like, wait, where did it go? But if you keep your focus on Star Strike, you'll always see that orb as it comes back in, and you should be able to hit it. Particularly with your biggest fan that really increased your radius, I think it'll help out a lot. But, we'll go ahead and pick this up and see what happens damage-wise, I guess, when we get to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and so on hits. Let's see. Rapidly shooting mini. Let's hold off on that. That would be very complicated, and it might overlap a bit. So, first thing, her armor is up to 37. Kind of a weird deal. It's a plus 25. We usually see a plus 40, but given what she is, and she's of the magic elements, and that she deflects so much anyway, I guess that kind of makes sense. And then like your, you know, armor-centric characters, like you could picture Slobbertooth having the plus 40, then it kind of keeps that special for you. Hey everybody, Wisdom here. Sorry about that, I had something come up. I had to actually just completely stop the video in the middle here, but as I was saying, her armor plus 25, 12, 237. It's kind of lower than you would think it would be with a typical plus 40, but as I was saying, that keeps things on par for characters like Slobbertooth, who you expect to kind of have the, you know, big bumps in armor. Plus, like I had mentioned, she's just got so much defensive capabilities going on anyway. That said, Superstar is what we need to take a look at. We're going to Y to shoot the star projectile, and A to deflect it 4th time. It should grow larger and do more damage. So let's try to figure this one out. There's so many numbers anyway. There's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and it goes off at a weird angle. So 70 and 105 are going to be our numbers, and it looks like they're going to be really consistent. That 14, what I'm assuming that is our little Y-offs, the 2 smaller projectiles, which I think we feel good at 14 to 21. But the way this is going to work, 70 is going to be our number on the initial hit, you know, when it first contacts an enemy, and then on the return, I think you can see the 105. I'll keep firing a few of these off and see if we ever see anything higher than 70 or higher than 105. But as I mentioned, you know, like whenever she's shooting all these pretty well straight at the dummy, but sometimes, it might be triggered by the sheep, it goes off at a funky angle from you. That makes it hard to actually see it come back. But the good news is you can see that giant wheel around her. That's basically our base upgrade that increased the radius of Cosmic Reflector. or her fans, whatever you want to refer to it as. That really helps, and as long as you keep your focus on Star Strike, you'll see that orb come. As soon as it's close, just hit it. It's pretty much foolproof. But, let's move around, see if we can't maybe get something else happening. You get the idea though. I mean, very proficient character. Seems to do 70 on a hit and a return. So I'm wondering if it might be 105, 105 on the critical stuff. I think that 10... Oh, I didn't see it that time. So there's... The sheep would get out of our way. Be a really happy guy. And the sheep's gonna screw that over. I think I'm just going to put 70 to 105. I know I've seen the 105 on a return. I don't think I've seen the 105 on an initial hit, but I'm assuming since the return comes in at 70, I would have to think that a 105 could potentially be the initial number as well. And you can see like 105, 105 in a critical situation. Again, the 14 to 21 is basically what we would call previous one. I'm just going to go with that. Again, we could be here literally all night, and that's not what anyone wants. So 70 to 105 after 4th return. Again, hopefully that makes sense to you. Let me copy that because I put it in the wrong space. Armor plus 25. Have to document that. It kind of throws me off when I get to the point we have to stop the video because I have stuff coming up. Soul Gem is called Shooting Stars. I didn't have that typed in. I do now. And let's go back and purchase that. So that's, the 61 to 92 happens sometimes, but 70 to 105 every time after the 4th hit. Which obviously, if you're a big fan of the Cosmic Twirl, you're going to be doing that a lot. Particularly, like say I was battling Spyro or someone with a projectile. It makes things pretty easy. So we'll come in here, we'll pick up her Soul Gem. Shooting Stars for $25.60, that's with our 36% discount. Press Y to rapidly shoot mini sparkling star projectiles at nearby enemies. Not sure how this will work in conjunction with, which one was it? Star Power, but we'll see what happens. Looks like, did her fans change at some point? I think they did. They look extra glittery now. I don't know when that happened. It may very well have been the Soul Gem. She almost has an aura about her now. Again, it's hard for me when I get interrupted, but 35 on the initial throw there. And then if we rapid tap, we got our 14 and 21. Press Y to rapidly shoot mini star. So let's just kind of line it up with the middle guy here. And not quite sure what we're supposed to see. I'm seeing 14, 21, and 35, so there's a 53 and a 44. So it's still going to be our 35 to 53 and our 44 to 66. And if I rapid tap it, looks like she's just going to be angling them off for 14s to 21s. This is really hard to document again. 35 to 53 with 44 to 66 on return. And then, let's see here, rapid tap 14 to 21. I'm not quite sure how that's any different than Star Power, actually, is my problem now. Star Power, press Y to rapidly shoot star shards at enemies that do increased damage. So that took us up to, what, 14 to 21, right? And then Shooting Stars, the Soul Gem, press Y rapidly to shoot many sparkling star projectiles. Let me try to just tap it even faster and see if we can get anything to happen. I mean, that's about the same to me. I mean, I never did it with this frequency, but I don't remember there being any lag or slow down issues. So, I don't know. There you go. This is Star Strike, regular old Star Strike, fully upgraded down the Cosmic Reflector Path. It's one of those things I think you will enjoy it a little bit more, you know, if you're actually using it in the story mode. It's probably easier to appreciate, but you get the idea here. And apparently, this is something I hadn't thought to test, but I can throw off the 2 stars while I'm just waiting for that one to come back. So I'm getting 2 in. I got 3 that time, just narrowly. So that's something to keep in mind if you think, man, you know, the Cosmic Twirl's great down that path, but you know, when you hit it, you're just sitting there waiting to take damage. You can twirl and do 18 and 27, but if you miss, you're up the creek. You can actually fire off 2 or 3 pretty easily by rapid tapping. So, I don't know, she's a very well-rounded character, but you know, the main thing with her is the ability to deflect enemy projectiles. So that said, this video kinda got weird. I was interrupted in the middle of it, and it's just a lot to document if you follow my drift there. But nonetheless, it is complete. I'm excited to actually try her out both in story mode, arena challenges, and PvP against my nephew. So granted, he may be her, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But what I will do next, we'll take our standard light core Star Strike, non-enchanted, and we will take her down the Stargazer path. I'm actually very excited to see how that one pans out. And then I guess depending on whichever path I like better of those two, I'll let Enchanted Light Core Star Strike take that, or ELCSS as I like to call her. And you know, I'll just since she's special, I'll try to give her like the path I prefer. So that said, thanks for watching. I will try to get this video put together. It'll kind of be a little bit more editing than usual, but this is Star Strike fully upgraded. Hopefully I documented that well. Again, if the spreadsheet doesn't make sense to you, I feel like if you watch this video, even if the video doesn't make sense, you at least see what I bought, and then you see the numbers, and you can kind of make your own sense of it, call it what you need to. You know, I mean, you'll see what it does, and I try to phrase it as best I can, but there's some of this stuff, it just overlaps a lot, and some of it's not super clear, you know, at this point, particularly when it overlaps and is complex. But I'm doing my best here. Hopefully it helps you out. That's the ultimate goal. Take that link at the top of the video description box. You'll be taken to a post dedicated to none other than Star Striker herself. You'll see her base upgrade videos, videos for Stargazer, video for Cosmic Reflector, and you'll have access to my spreadsheet, which hopefully kind of walks you through everything. So as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here as we explore the Stargazer path with Light Core Star Strike.